Hey everybody, Titanium here. There's already been a bunch of great news come out of E3 2016. I mean, let's see, there was a Final Fantasy 15 demo that was rad. Got jumping around a giant, monster dude swiping at him and teleporting, all that kind of stuff. Then there was an announcement that Red Dead Redemption is going to have a sequel, which is awesome. That's a freaking sick game. Then we've had EA announce there's going to be a new Star Wars game, plus they're going to do a story mode for FIFA, if that's your game. Fourthly, Xbox has had a lot of news, all right? There's an Xbox One S that's slimmer and more powerful. It's going to be available this coming holiday season. But then there's also a new Project Scorpio coming out, which is just going to be like a dominator machine. And then they also have Xbox Anywhere, which is if you buy certain Xbox titles, then you can play them on your PC as well, which is really cool. I hope everybody does that. But yesterday, Nintendo shocked the world, man. They released the Zelda Breath of the Wild trailer, and if you have not seen this, you have to check it out. It is mind-blowing, like... Just move. Now, if you know me at all, you know that I am a huge Zelda fan, man. I got the t-shirts, I got the action figures, okay? All-time favorite game, the original Legend of Zelda, followed closely by Ocarina of Time, followed closely by A Link to the Past. All right, don't even get me started. I mean, I love all the titles. Those are just like my top 3, but it goes on and on from there. And of course, I'm a die-hard Nintendo fan. Despite some of the disappointments, despite some of the failures, I love them. I can't help but love them. They brought me so much joy, especially their trademark games, Mario, Metroid, Zelda, of course, Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, all the Mario sports that have spun off of it. I mean, Nintendo, I love you. Good or bad, you're like family, man. We go way, way, way back to the beginning. I will never quit you. I will never quit you. But this new Zelda title definitely has given me reasons for concern. Okay, first of all, they released a really awesome trailer a while back, like 2 years ago now or something, and we've seen nothing from it since. You didn't see any of the playability of the game. Not to mention, some of my biggest fears is from the failures of the recent games, which they're fun. Don't get me wrong. I love Twilight Princess. I love Skyward Sword. There were good things, but there are also bad things about them, right? They're super linear. So one of my favorite parts about the Zelda franchise are the side quests, just getting lost in the world. The original Legend of Zelda was wander all around the world, do whatever you want if you're tough enough, if you're bad enough. Even Zelda 2 was like that. As soon as you had the equipment to get into the new parts of the world, you could pretty much roam freely. Certainly Ocarina of Time, but more recent games, it's just been so linear, and the side quests end up being part of the main plot. Like, you can't actually complete the story unless you do these side quests, and that defeats the whole purpose of a side quest. I like going to find those little hidden heart container parts, that extra bottle that nobody can find. Just those little extra pieces and puzzles and details that aren't necessary, but for true fans, to complete is just such a great feeling. All right, my second fear is it's just going to be too easy. I felt like some of the more recent Zelda games have been... I know, look, I get it, Nintendo. You want to be kid, family friendly. You want to welcome every player, and I respect that. I like that. But that doesn't mean you have to make your games so freaking easy. You could have like a lot of games do, like an expert level, a hard, a medium. Let the player choose. My next concern is that some of the mechanics could be a little rough, a little ugly. Like, climbing in the last 2 games is so slow. I mean, more than the last 2 games, really. You get hit when you're on like a vine, you get knocked down in the beginning, you have to start all the way over that slow, as the camera slowly cranes down to get the position. It just was weak and not great. There was no like jumping or climbing fast, and you run out and get exhausted so quickly. It's just kind of annoying, I guess, is the quick and simple term for it. So I hope they improve upon that. And lastly, my biggest complaint about the Zelda franchise is they have not embraced voice acting. Almost every major game now has voice acting. Nintendo has resisted it to the bitter end for reasons unknown. There's so many talented people out there lending fantastic voices to games and bringing them to life in a whole new way. I get that Link doesn't need a voice, okay? There's a little bit of Link in all of us, no matter who you are, and you want to associate and feel like you're the hero. So I respect that. I get that. But the other characters have just been so one-dimensional because they're so limited just by that text that scrolls across. And the little hoo-hoo, hee-hee-hee. There's like 3 or 4 different grumbles or buffoonery noises that they insert for these characters instead of giving them a true depth and level, that we have come to expect and crave as gamers. Please, 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 Nintendo, I'm pleading with you, I'm begging with you, give us some great voice acting in this Zelda game. It will make a huge difference in the player experience and the rewarding, immersiveness of the game. So those were my fears going into this E3 for the new Zelda title. And then I saw the new trailer. And man, is it beautiful. In every way, top to bottom. All right, first of all, it has like a Miyazaki type feel to it. The animation style, I think it's actually called gouache. It's like a classic anime style. The music, there's ambient sounds from the world, whether it's birds or insects or the wind blowing through the grass, okay, and these wide landscapes. And Link's sprinting and climbing quickly. He's climbing fast, all right? He's jumping. You can actually jump with Link for the first time. It's about time. And he can swim, which he's done before, but it looks a lot more fluid. But he also forages, all right? Almost like Red Dead Redemption or Far Cry. You go out and you find things in the world and put them together in your knapsack, and they come in handy later, I'm sure, for a ton of uses that I'm not even aware of yet. He's got lots of new tools, including using weapons and stuff he's picked up from bad guys or sticks and things from the ground. Everything is interactive pretty much in this world, which is so much fun. And your clothing matters. If it gets hot or it gets cold or you're in water, what clothing you're wearing, you got to change it out. It affects your stamina or your ability to survive in an environment much more than it did, let's just say, back in Ocarina of Time when it was like one thing for the fire temple or something like that. I mean, this world is fully immersive, it's fully interactive, and it's massive. Okay, in the demo, you're basically just playing, seeing them run around on Hyrule Plateau, which we're told is where, the Kingdom of Hyrule was born. And then they zoom out and they show the full map, and it's just this tiny little sliver of the whole world. And they say that truly it's free roam. I mean, you have to, like any game, you have to find the tools. In this game, there's a Sheikah tablet, which is like a super advanced, like iPad or something like that. And you get runes, which unlock these new abilities we've never seen before. It incorporates new technology that we've never really seen before. There was a little technology used in Skyward Sword. So all new abilities with lens to like brand new problem solving. And from what many of the people doing the demos have been saying is really, you're only limited by your imagination. You can choose to solve the problem in any way you see fit, the long or the short way, the hard or the easy way. You might use bombs, you might trick an enemy to opening a doorway. It's really up to you. They've thought this through so well. That's why it's taking so long. They weren't just sitting around drinking sake, okay? They were working on this. Or maybe they were. I mean, maybe the sake inspired all this outside the box thinking. So I guess you find new runes in shrines. And there's over 100 shrines in the game, and those aren't even the dungeons, like your typical regular Zelda dungeons that we're used to. So there's so much to do. They've also incorporated the wolf amiibo that you get when you buy Twilight Princess HD, and as you build that up, you can now apply it, and Wolf Link will run around with you in this game. So that's a fun little extra. If you can't tell, I'm pretty excited about this game. And the fighting style is really, really cool. So you're running around in the world, you're finding like little bad guy camps, people wandering around. You can attack them in so many ways. Actually reminds me a little bit of Wind Waker, you know, where you can take their weapons and use them against them or things in the environment. You know, you have to get creative, which is cool. And there's also something called Flurry Rush, which if you time your attack appropriately, it goes into like slow motion, you know, like the Matrix or whatever. You see a little bit of that in the trailer, and then you just like take you know, tag them really quick. So that's going to be totally cool. And of course, there's the Master Sword. We get a little look at this right at the end of the trailer, okay? And you know, it's rusted, it's old, it's been sitting there a long time. You know, there's little chinks taken out of it, so you know it's been a while since, you know, the hero of time has been awakened. And awakened he is, of course, by some slightly British voice.
Wake up, Link.
You hear at the beginning, and seems to be a guide that leads you throughout. Thankfully, 100 times less annoying than Navi. So thank you for that, Nintendo. But it gives you a little bit of a clue maybe to the timeline. It appears that this is going to take place a little bit later in the Child Link timeline. He appears to be like 16 or 17. I like that age. You know, you can do so much more than little kid Link, but you're not fully realized adult Links. You still have that sort of youthful discovery, sort of, what's the word? Not ornery, but, you know, sort of adventurous playfulness in him, which is really fun. Now, there's no plot or character reveals yet, other than like the old man sitting at the fire at the beginning of the demo, who could turn out to be somebody, probably is. Actually reminds me a lot of the old guy at the very beginning of the original Legend of Zelda, who says, "It's dangerous to go alone. Take this." And it's the wooden sword. True story, first time I played that game with my cousins, we ran all around the whole world, that room, you know, outside. Didn't even realize we needed to pick up the sword, so we couldn't do anything. We played it for probably an hour before we actually figured out you just walk right into the sword and pick it up. That's a little embarrassing bit of history about me. Alright, so to wrap this all up, I am in love with this game. It looks so freaking cool. I have a few reservations. There's a few, you know, screenshots I saw where particularly Link's animation looked a little rough, like it wasn't real smooth around the edges, so I hope they spend some time, you know, making sure that full definition is there. I mean, we have HD technology, let's use it, okay? My only other beef is at the end of the trailer, you see the title, you know, Zelda Breath of the Wild, and it's white. White! Where's the gold font, man? I mean, let's go back. Very first game, gold cartridge. Second game, gold cartridge. Third game, well, they veered. They forgot for a second. I don't know what they were thinking. But Ocarina of Time, gold cartridge. Majora's Mask, gold cartridge. All right? Wind Waker had gold disc. All right? Twilight Princess, it was a gold link on the disc. Or you get your theme here, gold. So I don't know why they did it in white. I think Breath maybe, or it's like supposed to be clouds. But no! This is Zelda. Gold, man. Gold. Triforce. It's gold. Other than that, the new E3 2016 Zelda trailer is titanium approved. I mean, seriously, I'm going to disappear from the world come like November to Christmas. It doesn't matter if you're a close friend or a family member. I'm going to have to start a Twitch, I think. That's the only way you're going to be able to see me. But enough about what I think. Tell me what you guys think. Go ahead and comment below. Let me know what you think about the trailer, if you're excited about the game, what your concerns are for the game, what your favorite Zelda game is. You know, I like to hear from you. You're my fans, all right? And as always, if you can, throw me a little like and subscribe below. And may the Triforce be with you. Just move. Today, I'm going to try something I've never tried before because I'm a little bit out of my mind. All right, you guys know what a Rorschach test is, right? It's like that ink blot test you always see in TVs and movies that psychologists use to evaluate people and their sanity. Well, I'm going to do like a Rorschach test for the new Zelda trailer that just came out at E3. Okay, I'm just going to watch the video and just whatever word pops into my head, you know, almost like the Blink theory. Gut reaction, first thing that comes to my head, I'm